Alrighty, welcome. So today we're gonna have a look at my first product review, if you want so, which is a device which I picked up. Well, actually for me to use, but while it's relatively new, I thought, well, I just as well throw a little review in. And this is what we are talking about. It's the Juggerknot version 2 from QP Designs. And I was really excited about this one. So this hasn't been opened. I will open it up with you down low. What does the box like? Product contains nicotine, which it doesn't. Color is black. I think you get it in black and stainless steel at the bottom. And you get a long list of features: 28mm deck, dual coil, no leaking, postless deck, clip top caps, side installed screws, and so on and so forth. But we'll go through that once we get back on top. But let's go down and have a look at the Juggerknot version 2 of QP Designs. And here it is, the Juggerknot from QP Design. I haven't opened this. This is how it came. Didn't come in a wrap, funny enough. So let's see if everything is inside. So this is a magnetized lid over here. So we flip this open. There it says Juggerknot V2, and that's what it comes with. It's an authentication card. This is obviously number 183. Here you go. And it comes with a user manual, and it comes with what appears to be a sticker. I haven't had a sticker in any of my and then comes with a goodie bag. Here we go. Here's the goodie bag. It has an Allen key. It has a flat screwdriver. It has spare keys, which seem to be hex, and a bunch of O-rings, and a gasket for the top, which obviously means that this appears to be a top fill and not a side fill. That's awesome. Then we have one of these. What do you call it? A vape band or something like that? I have no idea. Here you go. With QP Design on it. You have a bubble glass, which means it comes with a straight one, I would assume. You have a mouthpiece, which I can't get out. Here we are. That's an interesting mouthpiece, conical design. Not sure if I like that. I'll need to test that out. And then we have nothing at the bottom of the box. And then obviously we have the star of the show. Let's put everything away here and let's have a look at this. There it is, the Juggerknot version 2 of QP Design, all the way from Canada. Here we go. So let's have a look at the bottom. It says Juggerknot version 2 RTA, QP Design. We have the serial number, which we saw on the paper, and Phil's signature. And a 510, which appears to be protruding quite a bit. And here you are. I have another look around. It's funny, these white things there. What are they all about? QP Design is in the window. Here we go. So it has a 510 drip clip, which is, oh, dry O-rings. Dry O-rings. I'll take that off. Oh, look at that. Now, those of you who had the version 1, and I wasn't one of them, but I've seen obviously a couple of reviews of it, might remember that it had a side fill, like the old Mellow 2 tanks and that kind of stuff. Now this one appears to be top fill. That's the lid, comes off. Very nice. Funny thing, it comes off the wrong way around. Might have something to do that you don't unscrew your atomizer from your Atty when you're busy. Want to fill your pot. That's this Juggerknot version 2. Has a actually opens quite nicely, and given the fact that it is brand spanking new and there's not a drop of vape juice on there. What I can't seem to get out is the let me get offline here a little bit. See if I can't get out. I get a piece of paper towel here. Here we go, we made it. So that is the drip tip it comes with. And then obviously alternative it would have. Gee, that is very tight here. That is really, that O-ring is really tight. So alternative, you can put that drip tip on it. I will now attempt to get this drip tip off again, which probably won't be easy at all. I will give it my best shot and put the original back on. Yeah, that O-ring is very, very tight. I guess it comes looser with time, but at the moment, boy oh boy, you really need to press your 810 mouthpiece in there. Well, here we go. We have done that. So we have, then it has the airflow, which appears to be on top, right over here. Has stoppers on, well, it has stoppers on this side. And it has stoppers there. It goes a bit far. Not that I really give it. That is really important. But yeah, it has stoppers on both sides. So that's great. And it has a top airflow. Then let's have a look at the bottom thing. That actually unscrews quite nicely. We'll have a look at this in a minute. So let's try to get the glass off. Here we go. That went a lot easier than I thought it might. Here we go. That's the straight glass. And it has these things in here. And some of you might have seen that Canada is also now joining the TPD people with the 2 mil maximum capacity of tanks. There's no maximum capacity for cigarettes or any of the other stuff, but apparently juice is so dangerous you need to limit the capacity. Anyway, Canada is now running that horse, and that's obviously QP designs coming from Canada and obviously want to sell to Europe. They made sure that they are TPD compliant, so they put the 2 silicone pieces in there to limit the volume to 2 milliliters. So this is what this looks like. Very nice. Let's take the lid off. Here we go. And there you have the whole thing. Very sweet. I like it. Right, then let's have a look at the deck. I mean, we always want to have a look at the deck. Let's go down a little bit here. Here we go. That's a lot easier for me. I don't need to hold it up that high. So here's the deck. And those who are familiar with the QP Mini might see quite a few similarities. Here we go. Very nice. Those of you who had the version 1 might remember that the screws came in from that side, from here. And when you had a flat wire, then you mangled up your coils. Now they have changed it, and the screws are now coming from this side. And as we have seen with the flat screwdriver, it is flathead screws. But you have hex screws, hex spare screws in your bag. So if you can't live with flatheads, then you are welcome to exchange them immediately. Well, I will use the flatheads till I mangle them up, and then I put the hex screws in. Here we are. And then you have the airflow. You have airflow coming through over here. Let's put that on something. There we go. So you have the airflow coming through from the side over here. You have airflow coming from the bottom. And then it comes up here. So it is kind of, it goes up a little hill. So it comes up here and there. But the airflow is actually top airflow. And if you look at the lid, you see there are two airflow holes there as well. So you get airflow from the bottom and from the top. Interesting to see how it splits up. Anyway, so this is how they have decided to do that. Decided to have a top airflow and then divide the airflow to top and bottom airflow. So air will come from the top, from the lid, as we have seen over here, and air will come from the bottom. It comes in here and then goes up this ramp to the coil. And that's how it works. How about we're going to put a coil in here? Well, two actually. I prepared two 3mm flat wire Claptons. I hope they fit in here. So I will just see if I can get in here with my flathead, which I have here. So I don't need to have to use that Barbie toil tool. Nothing seems to happen here. Let me just check. Yep, my screwdriver doesn't fit in here. Now that is not good. Right, let me get another screwdriver here. Need a smaller one. Possibly fits in here. Please hold. That is important to us. Here we go. Let's see if that one will do. Yeah, that does it. There we go. So the screwdriver for my coil tool kit was too big for these flatheads. Here we go. We'll unscrew this, and then we put the coils in. Let's see. I have cut the coils to 6 milliliters. Yeah, right. 6, still always in drinking mode. 6 millimeters. So to make sure that the airflow will be really good. If 6 millimeters is too high, then obviously you still can cut them. That's not a problem. Problem is if I cut it to 5 millimeters and it is too low, then you cannot add a piece. Yeah. There's method in the madness here, sometimes anyway. Here we go. Now let's suspend this a little bit. Here we go. That's out of the way. Does it look high? I don't know. I'll check it out. Let's put it a little bit over to this side so we have some space for this coil. There we go. Fiddle this in around this camera. Just take our thumb and hold it down. We take our screwdriver. So we have now finally found one which fits. There we go. Let's go and bend this right a little bit. loaded it over to this side. How does that look? Looks a bit wonky. Yeah, let's, come on, here we go. It doesn't look bad, huh? Doesn't look bad at all. I like it. Here we go. Should have turned it the other way around. I should have wound one coil that way and the other one the other way, and then it would have spelled QP. Ah! Missed an opportunity there. Anyway, here we are. Coils are in. I think it's time to give them a bit of a burn. Let's find a bit for the destiny. Right. Let's take it off here. Let's put it on the old and trusted workhorse, which is the Legacy. A Legend Legacy, right. We are at 40, which should be all right. Give it some pulses. Well, let it take its time. No rush. Just go up a bit. A bit of scraping here. That seemed to do something. Let's put it down. Give it another scrape. Blowing from the inside out. I think that's more or less how we want it, isn't it? What we do now, we are just gonna give the screws another turn just to make sure they're in the way they should, all the way. Don't ask me how I know. Yeah, I've learned to do that. Yeah, let's give it another squeeze. Yeah, that looks fine. That's perfect. Alrighty then. I guess it's then time to start with the wicking. Right. Now let's get some cotton in here. Pinch and twist. These are 3mm coils, by the way. That's what cut it here. Now we go to the other side. It's actually Firebolt, which I'm using here. If you're wondering what what cotton it is. Here we go. Not my normal usual organic cotton, so we give it a fair chance. Right, now looking at the ports here, they look smallish. You might have seen it. These are not the biggest ports, and you kind of semi-dam method, I would assume, is more or less where you go with this. So you put your scissors. That's where I put it. If I'm wrong, well, we'll find out in a minute. I put my scissors right here against the lower part of the deck, and I just cut them slightly skew, so the upper part is a bit longer than the lower part. Then I give it a rake. Maybe I take my other tweezers for that. Give it a decent rake. Oh, you can't see. Sorry, man. Maybe we should zoom out a bit. There you go. Give it a rake. Give it a rake. There we go. What we're going to do now is give it another haircut. Just about here. And about here. Here we go. Then I take my cotton and I just push it towards the coil. That's all I'm doing. Just pushing it towards the coil and hope, pray that the cotton then falls into the wicking holes. And it does. And as you see, once you've made a beginning, it's doing all right. So what you don't do is stopping it in from the top. Don't do that. I wouldn't suggest that. Of course you can do whatever you want, but I wouldn't suggest doing that, because when you do that, chances are you might get a bit of a dry hit situation, which of course we don't want. Right, fluff it up a little bit. Same here, we start from the bottom, we just push the cotton towards the coils. Here you go. Very carefully. If you feel resistance, stop. Because if you feel resistance, then you are already compressing the cotton, which is not what you want to do. Don't do that. Here we go. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is that. So all we do now is we give it a bit of juice. What should we do? Yeah, we give my standard juice where I test all my new Etties, which is the milk caramel nougat. Maybe not that one. That's the nicotine one. Do the nicotine-free one. Sorry, I'm back in a minute. Sorry. Just need to find it. Huge bottle right in front of you. Here we go. That should be steeped enough. That's more than 2 months old. Give it a bit of a shake. Right. And we just give it a bit of a juice up here. Missing. Oh, yes, it's new Coils. We're having juice. Vape and juice, we have enough, more than enough. Let's open the temp a little bit. Here we go. That looks all right. Let's just give our cotton a little bit of a... Here we go. Perfect. Right, now we need to put the top on. So I'll leave the bubble glass off for the time being. I'm sure I will put it on later on. There we go. Just wiggle it over. Oh, that's how. So, all right. Look inside. Yeah, you must make sure that's a very contained chamber. Let's make sure it fits in that contained chamber. So right now, we just put it together. The O-rings are when dry very stiff. It took me quite a bit of effort to get the glass in here, and we screw it together. Take my little towel here and make sure it's all nice together. Here we are. Then we fill it up with some of my chocolate caramel juice. Here we go. Careful, there's quite a big opening on this bottle. I don't make too much of a mess. Here we go. Not quite sure how full it is with the straight glass, taking out obviously these and there you go, these silicone things. But here you go. This is the QP Design version 2, built up, wicked up, juiced up, and ready to go. Let's go upstairs and see what it does. And here we are, back on top with the Juggerknot, sitting on my Ages Legend, and it fits on there because it's 28 millimeters, and it is actually my one and only atomizer where it does fit on there. In the meantime, I have changed the coils. I've took out those flat heavy coils and just put some normal simple Claptons in here. Gave it 6 reps, spaced them just a little bit, comes out at 0.25. Not sure if you can see that. Well, you have to take my word for it. Maybe if what happens if I go and click on the screen? Will it then anyway, take my word for it. It's 0.25, and let's give it a rep. Oh, it's delicious. It really is. Oh, beautiful dense vapor, beautiful vape. I only vape it at 43 watts. Obviously you could go higher. I'm not a particularly hot vapor, so I like it at 43. I think it's perfect. 3.27 volts, and it rock and rolls. So as you probably have found out by now, I like it. I really do. I used it now for the last 2 days after the down low, and it is really doing very well. I love it. Obviously it doesn't leak, it's a top airflow, but given the fact that it is a top airflow, and a lot of people tell us that top airflows lose flavor, don't have the flavor of a bottom airflow. Well, this one will give you a run for your money. I think it does. I think it does just as good flavor as any top level bottom airflow. I really do. I think it is a fantastic little atomizer. I talked to you about the box and what was at the back, and there are a couple of things which I mentioned and highlight here. They say site installed screws. You saw that the screws get screwed in such a way that you do not twist the coil. The reason they put it on there and mention it in particular is because the first Juggerknot, not the Juggerknot Mini, the first Juggerknot had the screws in from the other side, which means every time you put screws in on a flat coil, you would twist your coil. Then it says adjustable airflow with stopper. Why do they put it on there? Because the first Juggerknot did not have a stopper. You could turn your airflow ring all the way around. And the other thing which they say is, which I talk about, is about their top cap, because the first Juggerknot had a kind of a side fill, which is always fiddly. Nobody likes that. Nobody likes a side fill. This one has a top fill. Only thing is, it opens the other way around than what we are used to. And maybe it is so that when you unscrew it, you don't unscrew your coil from your atomizer. So you now unscrew your coil from your atomizer when you close it, but it actually has a very, very nice resistance. Just hold on to your atomizer and put your top coil on. That actually feels very, very well made. There's one con. There's one con which I have with this one, and I don't know if you can see it on this camera. Probably not, because it doesn't focus in. It won't. But I put the Delrin drip tip on, which by the way is very, very comfortable. But you put it on, you have 0.5 millimeter gap. You cannot press it down any further. So that was an oversight from QP Designs. It doesn't go entirely flush to the top cap. So I probably will just, sandpaper it down a little bit. But yeah, this shouldn't have been. This should not have been. It should have been flush. The original one, which is on there, is fits in absolutely flush. So the neck of the drip tip is just 0.5 millimeter too long, so you cannot push it down all the way to make it flush. But you really have to, look at it with an eagle eye to see it. But it is there, and I do see it. I don't like it. So that is a bit of an oversight. Doesn't come with coils, but we all know the more expensive a device is, the less features it has. So it doesn't come with cotton or coils or any of that. Obviously, QP Designs assumes when you buy something like that you have cotton and coils. So, but otherwise it comes with the normal accessories, and also comes with the bubble glass, which I haven't put on yet. I actually like it with the straight glass, and that's how I will rock it. You fill it up quite a bit with the straight glass. So obviously, if you, let's say, go on the road or something and you want to make sure you lasts a bit longer before you have to refill it, just put the bubble glass on. Haven't tested it with the bubble glass, but I make the fair assumption that it will be just fine. Other cons on this? Not really. I think that's about it. Don't like the drip tip thing. I really don't like it. Pros, I love the airflow. If you are used to breathing through your atomizer, you might find it restricted. I find it open enough. I really do. I don't close it, so I use it fully open, but it's not, for me it's perfect. You might have heard the other con I have. It's a noisy little bugger. It makes noise. It might have to do with the triple airflow, airflow from the bottom, from the sides, and these two little holes on top right over here. That might contribute to the noise of the airflow. So should they, develop this a little bit further, they might want to calm down the airflow noise a bit. It is even on the verge of, I would like to whistle a little bit. So that's something to look out for. So if you are like me, laying in bed reading a book together with my wife, and I, take a hit on this one, she would say, "Hey, stop it, you sound like Darth Vader." Yep, that is, so it's a noisy atomizer. Apart from that, beautiful airflow, fantastic flavor, really fantastic flavor, even with the normal simple Claptons. Really, really nice. You don't need to crank it up to 150 watt to get anything out of it. It does good in the lower wattages as well as the higher wattages. And I think it's worth its money. What money are we talking about? Well, this is not a product made in China. Let's put it here so you can see it. Maybe a little bit higher. Here you go. There we go. This is not made in China. I'm here in South Africa. I paid 1,350 Rand for it, which is more or less, if you look at new release RTAs, double coil RTAs, it's probably double, maybe a little bit more or less double what you would pay, which is not crazy. I think in America it's $99, but I'm not quite sure. Shall we have a quick look? Juggerknot V2. There we go. Juggerknot V2 US store. Oh no, it's actually not that important. I just see it here for Canadian dollars 71.99, US dollars 69.99. So that's not bad. That's not bad for a non-Chinese high quality dual coil RTI. I think that's a very fair price, and it's certainly it's worth its money. I'll tell you that it's worth its money for that price. I wouldn't think twice. Pick it up, have a go at it, and if you like tanks, if you like dual coil tanks, and I'm normally a single coil guy, but I just wanted to have this because it looked attractive and it was not Chinese. It's my first non-Chinese atomizer, and I really love it. I think it's great. So that's it. That's my review on the Juggerknot version 2 from QP Designs, all the way from Canada. If you liked it, just hit the thumbs up down there. Hit the subscribe button if you like that too. And thanks very much for watching. All the best. Greetings from Cape Town, and I'll see you guys later. Cheers.